Greetings, Mindcrafters, and welcome to another Mindcraft discussion on all things well-being. My name is Kimberly Quinn, and it is my honor and privilege and pleasure. I'm having an absolute blast doing these. Today, we're going to talk about comfort and joy, and I am actually on my back deck right now. I actually did a first run, just because the wind makes noise sometimes. I did a first run this morning with little Giovanni out in our usual woods run where we all walk together. And it was about 2/3 of the way there, and then my phone died. I think because of the battery, obviously, but also the cold is a little bit nippy. But anyways, we're going to look at that as rehearsal for this one. So comfort and joy, these are words that we are hearing a lot about right now because it's the holiday season. And so I really kind of want to stay with this because they are definitely connected. They're definitely connected. And so, first of all, I want you to ask yourself, just think about it. When was the last time you felt joyful? Meaning full of joy, joyful, full of joy. When's the last time? Deep breaths. Yes, because if you have to think about it too long, this is a sign that we need to make changes, because as far as anybody knows, this is not a dress rehearsal. This is the big game, and there's nothing more valuable than our life minutes. And of course, joy is happiness amped up, because though they're both emotions, joy is also very spiritual. I think many people would say, it can be big and huge, like the birth of your child, or maybe it's your new niece or nephew, or whatever, just a gorgeous new baby, friend's baby. And, I think of also the word awe. Awe can be attached to joy too sometimes. And in addition, maybe a brand new baby, of course, a wedding day, and also maybe staring out at the Grand Canyon for the first time ever, or any magnificent spot across the world. It's just this awe, like, wow. And then the joy is just, and it's also, there's a mindfulness component to joy too, because in that moment of joy, there's no one else we'd rather be and nowhere else we'd rather be. It also brings in savor and gratitude and all these fantastic Mindcrafters words and emotions that we've been talking about. And so it's really, really important to have sort of a handle on how much joy is in your life, and it's like, oh no, now I gotta think about joy, and the joy police are gonna come yell at me. No, that'd be like so ridiculous, right? Because, people don't understand. I have 3 jobs, and yes, I do. I really do understand. And I will tell you that until relatively recently, 4 years, maybe 5 years ago. Okay, I've been at Champlain for 12, so there's overlap here. For the first, 7 or 8 out of the 12 years I've been at Champlain, where I love it, I was also bartending and serving on weekends because, I had to. 5 kids in college, and thankfully I really also liked it there, though I was on my feet 7 days a week, basically, right? And so I know what it's like to have to really carve time out. And I also know what it's like to bring joy to where I am, because when we have such a filled schedule like that, we can sort of just let it go and not, make good use of our life minutes and have moments of happiness and joy. Or we can realize that, we are in this, situation, or, the extra job or whatever it was, and bring joy to it, which is exactly what I did, which was worked the high majority of the time. So I was fortunate enough to be doing this bartending and serving at a ski resort. So I also got a ski pass bonus. And people were in general in very good frames, very, very good moods, because it was a resort, so people were in general very happy. And I remember going up and over really early in the morning and during the winter, and the sun rising, going up and over Jay Peak. Wow. I mean, it was just oranges and pinks. The rise of the sun was just so incredible. So that was one great part of the day. And then I also did, it's obvious, as a service industry, but I looked at it as just, let me just meet the most interesting people I can, and just, start conversations with people and learn. And wow, I mean, I met so many cool people. Met one of the guys who did the trailer for Harry Potter. I met tons and tons. The governor at that time, like 3 or 4 times. Also, just, regular, quote unquote, really interesting, good vibes. And because I was there, I mean, if I'm going to spend my life minutes in that way, I may as well have fun. Be of service, right? And have fun. And I can count the prickly pears on one hand. I think I was there for 8 years. I can count the prickly pears on one hand, literally. And then and I just have to laugh. And I would do like my own little positive psychology experiment with those people because I was convinced. Sometimes I'd pull one of my coworkers in, and we kind of not really take bets, but just kind of predict we could totally turn them around by the time they left, and we did. And they didn't even know what we were up to, so it was really, really cool. But anyway, so we brought joy. You can bring joy to something too. And just like anything we practice, we get better at it. Okay, so there's that. So let's talk about, the joy today. The joy today I had, this is where the comfort part comes in, because comfort and joy are connected. Probably hence, the whole Christmas thing and the songs and comfort and joy and all that. Because it's the simple pleasures that often lead to joy. So even just this morning when I was getting inspired to do this video, the first time in the rehearsal, I was up early with little Giovanni, and I was sitting, and my husband and our little one, although she's 21, I probably got to work into like calling her something different. But anyway, they went off to work early, and our little teacher, our second grade teacher, was downstairs exhausted from all the fun she had this week, and so I was by myself with this quiet upstairs, and with the fire going and the golden retriever right next to me, and I was just sitting there staring at the tree and looking at the snow outside. It was so comfortable. I'm in my jammies. There was comfort. It was a comfort on like a million different levels, and just total enjoyment. Nowhere else I'd rather be. No one I'd rather be. Just me in that moment with Giovanni and the fire going. Talk about comfort. Oh, and hot tea. Oh, and leftover chilled birthday cake. Doesn't get better than that. Breakfast cake, we call that. And for all the judgers out there that have their brand muffins, I mean, good for you. But, really, muffins are just cake without the frosting. I mean, I'm just saying it. So I'm a big fan of breakfast cake. I just don't want to judge. And also tea. And then, and last night, we met up with friends. We have tons of history with. One of them was my college, or was my college roommate, is still my wonderful friend. So it was the three couples, because we met friends through my college roommate years ago, like 20-something years ago. So the six of us, it was very spontaneous. So I was supposed to be in New Hampshire, and then that just changed. Nothing bad, just changed. And it all worked out very spontaneously. And the joy of being with friends. I mean, friendship is a joy in and of itself. And friends with so much history. And it happened, they all came together like that fast. And then they surprised me with another birthday slice, which you all shared because I could not move after the dinner we had. But joy, comfort and joy, because friends with history are comfortable, free to be you, I mean, just, you can just totally be yourself and talk about old stuff, and everybody could relate. And we laughed, and the roosters sat on their end, and the hens, we sat on our end. Nobody was really interested in what the others were talking about. We were da-da-da-da-da, and the roosters were da-da-da-da-da. I don't even have any idea. And my husband's sitting right next to me with the roosters going that way. I have no idea what they even talked about, because the women were all engaged in our own thing and planning spa events and all this sort of thing. Comfort and joy, the simplest of pleasures. And for me, a lot of that is getting up early, too. I know a lot of people, it's a tough sell, but wow, when you have for me, having a quiet house to myself. I mean, they're all here, but they're like sleeping. Getting up really early, like 5 in the morning, is just the best thing. A walk, anything. But the point is to really carve it out, because it's we talked about deposits in the self-esteem bank, right? For those who have a really tough time taking care of themselves, who find it much easier to care about, show compassion for, show love to, bring joy to other people. This can be a really good step in the right direction, because you can raise your joy just a little bit. Think about it. Think about doing something that makes your heart sing, even for 10 minutes. We can literally spend that amount of time in the bathroom. I mean, I'm just saying. We can carve it out. Even when at that time I was telling you about, when I was at JP bartending and serving, I think I was teaching at Champlain. I also had a side hustle with CCV, Community College of Vermont. So I had 3 jobs, and I'm not saying it's always easy. I'm not like that boaster on a soapbox. That's not what I mean. I'm just trying to give you like a visual and an example that it can be done. I mean, obviously life throws curveballs. You might blow a tire, can't get to work, and it was maybe harder. But in general, it's whatever we prioritize. My husband has said that forever, like since we were dating. Whatever we prioritize is what's going to be successful. If we prioritize our own well-being and realize and become aware that, wow, I haven't had much joy in my life, it doesn't mean to joy shame yourself. That's like a huge contradiction. So we want to have a more positive outlook, like, wow, I'm so grateful for this awareness. I had not realized I've been going on autopilot, being a human doing, being everybody's everything, and then I'm really burnt out, maybe even a little sad, and I need more joy in my life, and I want more joy in my life. And remember the closet thing, right? Like we are talking about with being super busy. Just like if we want to invite more joy, if we want to invite, a new outfit into our life, but our closet is packed full with clothes and shoes, much of which we don't even wear anymore, new outfit's not going to show up. It's not going to show up. Why? Because there's no room. So this is the same with joy, because if we're flying around like a gerbil on crack and we want to invite more joy into our life, but our schedule is so packed that we don't have any windows for joy, guess what's not coming? Joy. It's just true. So in order to invite it, we've got to really prioritize it, create the space, create the joy vacuum so that the joy can come in. And also the comfort thing is another part of the self-compassion that leads to the joy, and especially with the Rona situation, all the hype around that, it's kind of becoming our way of life at this point. We can all use a little more comfort too, right? Little more comfort, and to be good to ourselves. And comfort leading to joy. Comfort and joy. All right then. This is what I wish for you this holiday season. Today, because today, your life minutes today matter. So I wish you joy today. I'm not putting it off to Christmas Eve or New Year's or Hanukkah for next year or anything. Today, your life minutes are valuable today. Very good. This is Kimberly Quinn signing off from my beautiful backyard. Have a mindful, joyful day.